Dakota avoided theatrics, focusing instead on dismantling opponents with precision and strategy.
Outside of any other division, so I don't know. Me and PFL, I'm sure, will come out with something amazing again.
Tell me about this fight.
It definitely some surprises. I mean, I didn't watch the card, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't here, but
Some fighters get judged by how they look before anyone sees how they fight. Dakota Ditcheva was one of those fighters. Many opponents looked at her face, her calm posture, and her confidence and thought she was soft.
especially in a fight, I like it. I like to train it, but it is very boring, People definitely watch my fight with.
They did not understand that behind that calm expression was someone who had trained since childhood, someone who grew up in a fighting family, and someone who knew exactly how to stay focused when the cage door closed. People confused her kindness for weakness. They mistook her beauty for fragility. But every time she stepped inside the cage, she reminded them that appearances meant nothing when fists started flying. On November 22, 2022, Dakota faced Catherine Cornejos, an undefeated fighter with 3 brutal finishes. Catherine was proud of her knockouts, proud of breaking people's momentum, proud of stopping promising careers. She enjoyed talking before fights and often said she loved to crush dreams. She believed Dakota was just a hyped fighter who had not been tested.
Can be a little bit disheartening, feel very lonely, whereas when I came here, I just felt like I'd found like a whole group of girls that were on the same.
When the two stood across from one another before the fight, Dakota kept her calm expression and blew a gentle kiss, a small signal that she would not be rattled. When the fight began, she used her long legs to control the space. She moved with smooth footwork, stepping in and out of range. Catherine tried to come forward with pressure, but Dakota's front kicks met her every time she entered. Dakota's strikes were clean and simple. She did not waste energy. Every time Catherine tried to close in, Dakota punished her with a hard right hand. Eventually, Catherine tried to clinch, thinking she could slow the pace, but Dakota proved she was strong in close range too. She defended the grappling attacks and landed knees to the body. Then as Catherine dropped levels, Dakota moved into mount and rained down hammer fists.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone that's been there to support me all these years is obviously excited to see me back in, but then a whole new kind of...
Catherine tried to recover by moving, but Dakota stayed balanced and kept striking. When they returned to the feet, Dakota stayed patient. With seconds left in the round, she walked forward confidently and landed a perfect right hand. It landed so cleanly that Catherine fell to the canvas instantly. Dakota moved in for one more strike, but the fight was already over. The knockout announced to the division that she was not just skilled, she was dangerous. In 2023, Dakota entered the PFL Europe Women's Flyweight Tournament. Her first opponent was Malin Hermansson, another fighter who thought Dakota's appearance meant she was soft. Malin said Dakota was only popular because she was the poster girl. She believed Dakota was undefeated only because she had not faced a serious opponent. Malin even copied Dakota's pre-fight gesture, trying to mock her. Dakota did not argue back, did not respond in anger, and did not try to prove anything before the cage door shut. She simply walked in and fought. From the opening exchanges, Dakota controlled the distance. She switched stances smoothly, snapping sharp kicks into Hermansson's legs and body. Every time Malin tried to come in, Dakota met her with a knee right through the middle. One knee landed so sharp that Malin had to step back, visibly hurt. Dakota then decided to change levels, taking Malin to the ground to show she was not limited to striking. She moved into dominant positions, maintaining strong balance and pressure. Then she took Malin's back and locked in a rear naked choke. Malin tried to fight it, but Dakota's technique was tight. Malin tapped, and Dakota earned the first submission victory of her career. When the fight ended, Dakota hugged her mother in the cage. It was clear this journey was personal and family connected, not just sport. Next, Dakota faced Cornelia Holm in the semifinals in Paris. Holm was experienced and confident. She had submitted many fighters in the past and believed Dakota could not last in deep waters. Holm said Dakota looked good early in fights but would tire if forced into long rounds. At the face-off, both women stared intensely. There was no friendliness. Holm shot for a takedown only 30 seconds into the fight. Dakota, however, did not go down easily. She fought the grips, balanced her weight, and used her length well. When Holm started to slow, Dakota returned to striking, landing knees to the ribs that forced Holm to clinch tightly just to survive. Holm held on until the round ended. At the start of the second round, Dakota unleashed a clean right hand that made Holm stumble. Holm grabbed onto Dakota to avoid falling, trying to recover her senses. Dakota stayed composed, controlling the clinch and landing more knees. Later in the round, Dakota took Holm down and nearly secured another rear choke. The crowd could see Holm struggling to breathe under the pressure. Dakota allowed Holm to stand up again because she knew she could finish the fight on the feet. In the final round, Dakota threw a perfect 1-2 combination and Holm collapsed. Dakota followed with a kick to seal the knockout. Holm had believed she had the advantage in deep rounds, but Dakota showed she could stay strong all the way and finish late. On December 2023 in Dublin, Dakota faced Valentina Skitidze in the tournament final. Skitidze believed Dakota was overhyped because of her looks. She said she was an animal and would expose Dakota. In the face-off, Skitidze tried to stare Dakota down with intensity. Dakota remained calm and simply motioned toward the belt. She already saw herself with it. When the fight started, Skitidze came forward aggressively, trying to overwhelm Dakota. But walking into Dakota's strikes was a mistake. The front kick hit repeatedly. The jab landed. The right hand landed. When Skitidze clinched, Dakota controlled her posture and delivered clean knees to the head and body. Skitidze then tried a takedown, but Dakota used her strength and balance to stay upright. The more Skitidze pushed, the more damage she took. Her eye began to swell quickly until it almost closed completely. The doctor examined her and stopped the fight. Dakota became the PFL Europe champion that night, calm and composed, as if she had expected the moment all along. In 2024, Dakota moved into the main PFL American season, where the final prize was $1 million. Her first opponent that season was Chelsea Hackett from Australia. Hackett spoke confidently and said Dakota was overrated. There was no handshake during the face-off. The cage closed. Dakota immediately landed a sharp right hand that dropped Hackett to the ground. Hackett tried to stand, but Dakota punished her with knees and body shots. Then she targeted the liver with fast punches. Hackett's face changed instantly as pain took over. Her body folded and she fell to the ground. The referee stepped in. Dakota had ended the fight. The division began to fear her, and still, people doubted her ability to beat the very top fighters. Then came Taila Santos. Taila Santos was not like the others. She was a former UFC title challenger who had nearly beaten one of the most respected women in MMA history. Taila had fought at the highest level against the strongest competition. She had gone 5 rounds with a dominant champion and made the fight close. People said she was stronger, more experienced, more battle-tested. Many believed Dakota would finally be stopped. They said Dakota was still young, still unproven, still climbing. They said Taila's power, size, and experience would be too much for her. The difference in their records did not lie. Taila had been in deep waters against elite fighters. Dakota had dominated rising fighters, but had not yet faced someone with world championship pedigree. For many watching, this was the fight that would show whether Dakota was just a rising star or something far greater. When the two stood across from each other before the fight, the energy was different. Taila was confident and did not show any fear or hesitation. Dakota remained calm, the same calm she always carried. She did not try to be intimidating. She did not speak loudly. She simply observed. The cage door closed and everything became quiet. Both women stood still for a moment, reading each other. This time, Dakota did not rush forward. She respected Taila's power. She used small steps, short movements, careful feints. Taila tried to cut off the cage, trying to force Dakota backward. Dakota used her long legs to maintain distance. Taila attempted to close the range and clinch, but Dakota broke free with a sharp elbow and returned to the outside. The first round was a battle of patience and discipline. Taila wanted Dakota to make a mistake so she could grab hold and use her strength. Dakota refused to give that opening. She struck only when the angle was right. A jab, a front kick, another jab. Taila blocked many early shots, but Dakota was not trying to knock her out in the first minutes. She was testing distance, rhythm, and timing. Taila lunged in with a hard right hand, but Dakota shifted back just enough so the punch barely missed. Dakota fired a counter knee that caught Taila on the ribs. It was not a finishing strike, but it sent a clear message. She was strong enough to fight inside too. As the fight continued, Dakota's accuracy began to cause visible damage. Taila's breathing changed. She began to tighten her guard and blink more often. Dakota stayed sharp. She did not chase. She did not rush. She waited for Taila to enter and intercepted her with strikes. Taila tried to wrestle again, but Dakota widened her base and pushed down on Taila's head, forcing her to abandon the attempt. The physical strength difference that people expected to favor Tyla was no longer clear. Dakota was not being bullied. She was matching power with calm technique. In the second round, Dakota found her rhythm. Her jabs snapped Tyla's head back more frequently. The front kick to the body began to slow Tyla's pressure. Dakota's footwork looked light and steady. She never stayed in the same place. She turned Tyla slowly, making Tyla chase her. Tyla attempted to force the clinch again, but when Dakota locked the clinch position, the Muay Thai training took over. Knees landed with clean impact. Tyla's body reacted. She tried to posture up, but Dakota controlled the pressure. The knees to the face came next, one after another. Each knee pushed Tyla closer to breaking. Tyla stepped back, trying to reset, but Dakota stayed right in front of her. She did not rush wildly. She took the space at her pace. Tyla threw a heavy right hand. Dakota slipped and returned a straight right that connected perfectly. Tyla's legs shifted. Her balance broke for just a moment. It was enough. Dakota saw it. She stepped forward and delivered a knee directly up the middle. Tyla collapsed to the canvas. The referee moved in quickly. The fight was over. Dakota had just defeated someone who had challenged for a world title. She had not won by luck. She had not won by surprise. She won by controlling every moment with precision. After the fight, Dakota did not act shocked. She did not cry or shout. She carried herself the same way she carried herself before the fight. Calm, steady, quietly confident. She knew she had just crossed into a new level. She had proven that her skills were not only effective against rising fighters, but also against proven elite competitors. The division knew instantly that the narrative had changed. She was no longer the fighter with potential. She was the fighter who delivered results. Opponents who once mocked her now understood. The ones who believed she was soft because of her appearance were proven wrong. The ones who tried to intimidate her were met with silence and skill. The ones who thought aggression would overwhelm her were broken by patience and technique. With each victory, Dakota showed that real strength is quiet. Real toughness does not announce itself. Real violence does not require anger. It requires control. And she had control from the beginning to the end of every fight. Dakota continues to rise. She continues to improve. She continues to prove herself every time the cage door closes. She does not need to talk. She does not need to play games. She knows who she is. And every opponent who steps in front of her eventually learns the same truth. They do not lose because they are weak. They lose because she does not break.